Good afternoon and welcome to Coffee and Connections with the Chief and the Captain. My name is Stu Chase. I am the Chief of Police, and Mark Livy is Executive Officer of the Police Department. It's September of 2023 and we're here in Cape Park on the gazebo on a beautiful afternoon. And as we look out into the bay, there are a lot of activity happening.
Yeah.
And stuff reminds us there's still a lot of really nice days in the month of September and October coming up for boating. So we advise folks to still use caution out there on the waterways. Make sure you have ample PFDs, and please observe the rules of the road. We, on this beautiful September afternoon, we think about kind of the end of summertime, and we look back on the many successful events and activities that have taken place. The 4th of July parade was widely popular and had a record number of entrants this year. As in the past, political hopefuls were among the participants in the parade, and we were pleased to be able to help those that had personal protection or security details with them for that event. Lake Winnipesaukee Day, did I get that right, Captain?
Yes, that
Lake
is correct.
Winnipesaukee Day.
Second year of it.
Second year was a huge success with large crowds in attendance. And we thank all those who were involved with that and pulling off a wonderful event. I happened to come through town that evening and off duty, and I was really surprised at the turnout. And keep hearing what a great time was had by all, and it was an orderly.
Yeah, I was I was actually down there for it all, and so I mean they had a lot of music playing in the dockside, so they kind of closed out dockside so you can really have the cars down there, which worked out really well. A lot of boats that were down here. I think the dive was here. The Mount Washington was here, which you could go on and eat at the Mount Washington and
Did they have live
have
music
drinks.
on the boat?
I believe they did.
Yeah.
I never made it to the Mount Washington.
Too much fun at the dock.
So, but I mean, a lot of boats in the general area here. I mean, I think it was packed. And the amount of people that were here was probably similar to what we have for fireworks. So that's what we're kind of comparing it to. It was a great success for the second year. Can't wait for the third year to come around.
Yeah, I'm going to try and make that one, man.
Yeah.
But in a totally unofficial capacity, it seems our town had a lot more visitors this year than in years past, in spite of the COVID era, and also in spite of an unusually rainy summer. So we thank the Chamber of Commerce, the Board of Selectmen, our Recreation Department, and others who contributed to the success of these programs here in Wolfeboro. So being a top 10 best place to visit in New England, and voting New Hampshire a top 10 safest state in the Union, coupled with our own natural beauty here and varied opportunities for entertainment and recreational use, it helps draw an awful lot of people to our area. And I think back when I was a kid coming up here, it took 2.5 hours to get here from the Metro North area of Boston. Now with all these modern highways and things, it takes 80 to 90 minutes to come from Massachusetts. But with success and popularity comes some issues with congestion and parking and the attendant complaints, and there were some questions asked in various circles about our parking control efforts this summer, and I have a report for those that are interested. Between May 1st and September 1st, there were a total of 220 parking violations issued. I'm going to quickly break those down. No parking, there were 21 tickets issued. Parking in a travel lane, one ticket issued. No standing, 1 ticket issued. Left wheels to curb, one of my favorites. There were 4 tickets issued. Handicap parking, shame on them, 4 tickets issued. Prohibited street parking, 1 violation. Bus loading and unloading, 4 violations. Overnight docking for you boaters, excuse me, there were 2 violations. Unregistered vehicles, 18 violations. Vehicle for sale, 1 violation, for a total of, come to my allergies, $5,480 and 220 violations. So that's up-to-date information on that.
So we're out there, as you know, doing school crossing. In the past, before COVID, we were always, the children and the parents always did the crossing, and they might have packed at the church or on the side streets there. But during COVID, they kind of moved the parents out to the back, which is understandable due to the fact of close contacts, stuff like that. So we kind of moved away from it. So the parents used to go drive around the back of the school. The buses went to the front. And with the new law with the buses, once that stop sign comes out, we have to stop everything in the roadway. Nothing can pass, even if they're off the side of the shoulder. There's no passing a school bus when the stop sign is out. So that congested the area in the mornings and afternoon. Really, everyone saw that. Everyone knew that. So we tried to...
Some of us get stuck in that.
Yeah. So talking with the principal of Carpenter School, the new one down there, so we talked briefly a couple times, and they went back to their pre-COVID drop-off, which is now the kids will do drop-offs in the morning times. The teachers will be outside, and they'll walk them inside, and then the buses will go around back, which I think it mitigates a lot of your traffic that's out there, because now we're back to the normal stop and let go as parents and children go across. Plus, we like to see and get to know the parents and the kids that go across there. It's a great experience for our officers to get to know everybody in town.
Yeah, good. We're glad that's fixed up.
Yeah. So
at the high school level, our second school resource officer, Corporal Eric LaRochelle, has assumed his position alongside School Resource Officer Mary Devine. We're pleased to have this additional level of security and service at the facility. Thanks to our superintendent of schools and the board for partnering with us on that. The captain, as an annual public service, has met with Brewster Academy staff and 30 or so international students on an informational basis to acquaint the new kids with laws, rules, and regulations that they may be unfamiliar with. And I wasn't able to be there, but I think that would be kind of a fun experience to...
Yeah, it was nice to learn and see all the internationals, because they're coming from everywhere other than the United States. So to come into our town and get to talk to them about coming down to downtown Wolfeboro, seeing the shops, seeing the restaurants and everything that they stopped in, and then talking with them about our town ordinances and laws that are much different probably than what they have back where they live, where they come from and live. So it was a great experience. We do this every year. We try to meet with the internationals, and it's a nice community relationship that we have with Brewster Academy.
That's great. I can imagine for some kids it'll be a little bit of a shock to have a totally different environment.
Yeah.
So, well, thanks for doing that, Mark. And there's a personal observation of South Main Street, and I saw this morning. If that's your regular route of travel for you when school is opening for the day, you may want to just consider starting a commute 15 or 20 minutes earlier, or if you can, 20 minutes later. The same goes for the afternoon at the end of the school day. It might save you some frustration in your comings and goings. If anyone in our viewing audience is mechanically inclined, we are auctioning off a retired Ford
Taurus. Yep. 2013.
Doesn't it have like a fancy name, like Police Interceptor?
Yeah, so all our police vehicles are Interceptors, so they look a lot different than what your normal Tauruses looked at the time when that was built. So basically our Tauruses, Explorers, they're all Interceptors, and they're all the same. So every officer, when they get into the vehicle, it really hasn't changed in over, I would say, almost minor adjustments, but it's really the same. So that officer, when he gets into the car, an Explorer or Taurus, other than the ride, it's all the same, and all our electronics we try to keep all the same. So it's all mental memory. So when they get in there and something happens, they can just go to mental memory and hit what they need to hit and drive what they need to drive. So
not the same as driving a Tesla.
Yes, not the same as driving a Tesla. Those have not changed, come to the same as what a Ford Taurus or Explorer is.
But we're going to be having sealed bids, and I think there's a minimum bid of $300.
Yes.
The bidding period is between September 11th and September 25th, and there's an ad in the Grunter this week it's a legal requirement of auctioning off public property. And I think we can find photos of it.
So there'll be photos. There should be photos, maybe on the Grunter, but if you go to our Facebook page, you'll see all the photos out there. Sergeant Sparrow did the inside, outside, and put a little blurb on there about the car. And if you have any questions regarding the car, contact Sergeant Sparrow, and he'll answer any questions that you do have.
Okay, and the bids again are between the 11th and the 25th of September. The minimum bid of $300, and those can be directed to me, Chief Stu Chase at the police station. The public safety building renovation is now officially in phase 1, and there is much activity around 251 South Main Street. A lot of heavy equipment moving around.
A lot of heavy equipment.
A lot of dust flying.
A lot of noise.
Some temporary fencing. A lot of backup buzzers. So we're looking forward to see how this progresses. In anticipation of moving our central dispatch facility operation elsewhere during the renovation, we are grateful for Huggins Hospital and their offer to provide some available space there. Last Friday, we took a tour with a dispatch supervisor, some IT people, and some hospital staff, and I think that site is exceptional.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's very thankful for them finding this location for us and letting us use this for our dispatch center, because I mean the space it's wonderful.
Yeah, Stacy Savage and Will Riley were our contact people on that, so thank you to them and the entire administration over at Huggins. And that's about it for this segment of Coffee and Connections with the Chief. Be well and stay safe and enjoy the rest of your summer weather.